Welcome to the Warrior Marriage and Family Podcast. My name is Dr. Corey Gilbert, and I believe that your marriage and your family are worth fighting for. My goal is to empower you to fight for what matters most. This podcast is about you, your family, your marriage, and your children, and will include interviews and teaching on a biblical ethic on sexuality and gender. I want you to know that you're not alone, that others have walked down the same road, and there is victory. Let's get into today's episode. When my wife and I found out that we were pregnant with our first, it was kind of a shocker. We didn't expect to be able to have children because of my health issues. And so it was kind of it rocked us. She had a great job. I was in a job, but not doing well because of, again, health. And so we began a journey. We began a journey at the time of priorities as we had to look at the impending coming of this little one and the way that it was going to kind of insert himself into our family and into our lives. We had a huge decision to make. One of them for us was we had a value that one of us was going to be at home with that child. So the logical person was not my wife. She had the better paying job. She had a better situation. I was not in a good place and my health was an issue. So we actually began that process. So we're expecting our first baby. We began the process of looking at me staying home and my wife continuing to work full time. She was in the legal field. And it was interesting to watch that journey because as we navigated through that, right after that, Hurricane Katrina hit us. We lived in Mississippi, hit our house, and we had issues there. And as we headed towards Christmas, that was in, I guess, August, I think, we ended up putting our house on the market and walking away from everything and moving in with my mom and dad. I was struggling with finishing dissertation and all these little decisions that we can't, looking back, it's like, how in the world? But all that led to then me getting a teaching job and my wife ending up at home and our priorities shifting. Now, what about you? Sometimes things don't work out the way that you think they're going to work out. Sometimes there's priorities that you have to sift through, and the only kind of way out seems, either not popular or not something the first choice. That's okay. Go with it. And it's interesting to see that things might change. I had a cousin that he ended up staying home with his kids while his wife worked because it worked out better for the family. One of the interesting things was he could make as much working as it cost for daycare. You start realizing, well, forget the job. Let me just be with my kids. And so as you look at the financial, you start realizing that sometimes our priorities are misplaced, if not just completely out of place. So what is the most important thing in your family and in your marriage? And how can you prioritize those? Every family is going to have to go through these decisions, and a lot of pieces affect that. A lot of moving parts affect that. A lot of past choices, like for us, there was a lot of debt that affected that. Health affected that. And then as we looked towards that baby, and then a second one came later, 2 years later, the priorities of schooling and all that kind of stuff, make those decisions as a team. Make them together. Be on the same page. Again, a healthy marriage is built, and I pray that you will build one intentionally as a team together, because I promise the difficulty of that is so worth it because the rewards are amazing. Thank you for tuning in to the Warrior Marriage and Family Podcast. It has been an honor to serve. Find out more about resources for you and your family's growth and success at healinglives.com. Thank you to our sponsor, the Healthy Marriage Inner Circle. You can join the conversation in my free Facebook group anytime at facebook.com/groups/thehealthymarriage. To access my new best-selling book for parents, go to ican'tsaythat.com to purchase and receive the audiobook for free. Remember that your marriage and family are worth fighting for. This is Dr. Corey Gilbert. See you next time.